good to have you. Thank you for being a part of this. I really appreciate your time.
Well, thanks for inviting me. Looking forward to it.
Me too. And so today we have here with us Pedro. Want to share with us your name? He's a realtor like me, and he's just going to share his experience with us basically. And if you're a realtor and you want to learn from those that have been in this. So I'll let Pedro introduce himself, and then we'll just take it away.
All right. Well, my name is Pedro Larrea. I am a real estate agent. I've been doing this since 2010. So it's coming up to 15 years. Time flies. I love what I do. It's a great business. I enjoy helping people finding their home. That's a great reward for us. And I've lived in Texas since 1990 and in Dallas since 1997. So I know this area very well. But Temi, I'm glad to be here. Fire away.
Thank you. I'm guessing you're doing this full-time right now, right?
Yes.
And how long have you been doing this full-time?
I got my license in 2010. I worked part-time probably about 2.5 years. And then towards the end of 2013, I started full-time. So it's been a while. And the only reason why when I got my license, I was going to start full-time, but it was, if you remember, that's when the market crashed. Perfect timing for me to pick up a career. But the good thing is that I still had a job, so I remained on my job for an extra 2 years. Didn't want to, but I think it was the right thing to do at that point, and then switch to full-time real estate.
So allow me to ask, so what were you doing before you fully went into real estate?
I work in the finance industry. I was a finance director for a company.
Wow, that's interesting. So what prompted the real estate move? Like, why would you leave finance?
What changed?
Yes.
Well, a couple of things. First of all, I always loved real estate, even back when I was a kid, a young man in my country, in Lima, Peru. And I always wanted to get involved in one way or the other with real estate. I actually started taking my classes back in 1995. That's how long I wanted to start this. Wow. But life changed, and while I was taking the classes, champions in Houston, I lived in Houston for 7 years, I got an offer for a job that I thought, okay, well, while I'm doing these classes and I'm taking, little by little growing this business, I'm gonna have a job. And this job was good. So the idea for me taking that job in finance was just to be there for maybe a year. And actually I remained like 60 years in the job, which I can't complain. It was good. But one day, 2013, 2014, I was sitting in my office and I looked at a pile of files and stuff that I needed to do, and it clicked on me, and I thought, okay, if I want to do what I want to do, I need to stop, and I need to just make the jump, and I did it. It took a year or so to get used to it, because it's different when you become a real estate agent. You have to go after people. You don't have people coming to you. Yes. And that was the biggest thing for me. You know people, they know you, but you have to go after. You have to talk to them. You have to be there. And sometimes we're not used to that until it becomes natural. Now, of course, after 10.5 years, 12 years, now it's natural. Now I go after everybody.
Everybody, okay. So I want to go back to a few things you said, which is that you were in Houston before you moved to Dallas.
Yes.
Tell me about that. These are two different markets, right? Yeah. Did you practice at all in Houston when you?
No.
You
no,
didn't.
I started taking the classes in Houston, but I didn't practice real estate in Houston. And in '96, basically, I got a job in Dallas doing what I was doing, and I decided to move to Dallas. Houston was different than Dallas, and Dallas was a little more enticing, bigger city, more opportunities. The way I looked at it, and different than Houston. Not to say anything bad about Houston, it's just different. And yeah, I moved to Dallas in '96, and I stay here. I love it. I love it here.
Do you still find yourself selling in Houston sometimes?
No.
No. You just stick with Dallas.
Yes, my youngest son is a real estate agent in Houston, so when we have clientele or clients that or referrals that we have in Houston, he takes care of them.
Okay, that's interesting. So you still have someone taking care of your Houston clients.
Yes.
Okay, That's good. And then you mentioned taking that jump from your previous job to real estate. I need you to talk about that because I'm guessing there's someone out there that is thinking, okay,
Thinking about making the jump.
making a jump, like, okay, maybe considering people going through a lot at work right now, you're thinking, let me find something to do, let me do my own thing, and I like real estate, like probably you said you did. How was that waiting time between when you left your job that you felt comfortable with and real estate that you didn't know anything about? What was it like, and what helped you through that phase?
Well, at that point, when I made the decision to change the let's say, professions, I never looked back. It was done. Because you cannot make a change like that and keep looking back. You have to, once you decide what is it that you want to be involved, you just have to look forward. That's what I did. And people ask me, they used to tell me, say, Pedro, but you had a good job, you have good income. Why would you leave? Well, I remember I'm not gonna say old guy, but someone seasoned told me a long time ago. I said, well, are you gonna remain here making somebody else's dreams come true, or are you going to make your dream come true? And I always remembered that because I felt at one point that, okay, I'm doing this, I'm helping this company grow.
Yeah.
I'm helping the ownership and the corporation make whatever it is that they make, but it's not what I'm dreaming to do. So when am I gonna decide to do that? So that day it was on a Saturday actually, and I was working and I was like, okay, I'm done, and I was done. And people asked me afterwards, hey, are you coming back? I said, no, not coming back.
How did you survive?
Well, you have to hustle.
Oh my God.
I mean,
but you understand what I mean, right? We're in
well,
America.
Well,
at that point, did you have children? Were you married?
my children were grown already. I was married, so we have two incomes. We have some savings. And so at that point, I told my ex-wife at that now, my wife, I said, listen, give me a year. In a year, I'm going to work in this, and I'm going to make at least, the minimum that I was making doing what I was doing. And she did, okay, yeah. And then, I work, I learned, I became very persistent, committed, focused, and here we are. So it worked out.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, real estate is like life. It's like this, up and downs. What we see on TV, these people selling millions of dollars in real estate, and $50 million properties and whatever. I'm sure they exist. I'm sure there's people to do that.
Yeah.
But that's not the majority. That's TV. That's TV.
And that's where we're coming. We're coming to that place,
Okay.
which is, I wanted to ask that real estate has its own highs and lows, right? There are days that you're like, oh God, why am I doing this business? There are days you have to encourage yourself and say, you know what? You have to get up and keep doing this, right?
Yes. Every morning.
And this market right now, 2025, sound like one of those seasons where you're like, okay, this is interesting. Why did I do this again? Tell it. So you've been through it, and I'm asking this for a colleague out there that is about to just give up on whatever he or she has worked on for the past few years. What would you say to that person, considering what you've seen, how you've been through yours? What would be your recommendation?
There is a couple of things that are very important, I think, for any new agent to consider. Okay. Yeah, the market right now is not what it used to be 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago. But real estate is constantly changing, and there are real estate agents that no matter what the market conditions are, they're always excelling. And there are agents that no matter you can be in the highest market possible and they're still not doing anything. Because it's not so much the market, it's what you want to do, your commitment to your business, to your life. And to me, what I do is not a job, it's a lifestyle. I live real estate, basically. Some clients call us late at night, and I'm not the type of agent that will tell you, listen, you call me until 7, which a lot of brokers tell you, don't let them call you after 7 because if not, they're gonna abuse you. Please abuse me, call me. I take phone calls. And my wife, which she works with me in the business, and she takes care of all the social media. She's a late sleeper, so if you call us at 2 o'clock in the morning, most likely she'll answer.
Oh my God!
You know? So because you never know. I mean, that's extreme, but you have to be committed. You have to be committed. Now, for a new agent, and they always ask, should I leave my job? You should if you have a good amount of money put away to support you for at least 6 months to a year. If you don't have that and you don't have a partner that can sustain the bills, the monthly bills, for a few months, better start part-time.
Part-time.
I would say so. Now, if you want to take a chance and go for it, and go for it. I did, but you have to be realistic about the chances. Let me put it, Tammy, you've been in this business for a long time. And sometimes I tell agents, look at it. If you find someone today, you get your license today, and you receive a phone call and they want to buy a house, okay? And then you go and show a house Saturday, and they say, I love this house, I want to put a contract. I want to put an offer. You send the offer, they sign the contract, execute it, let's move forward. They're closing in 30 days at least. So no matter what, these transactions are not fast. It's not like I'm selling a shirt and I'm cashing in at the end of in the next 30 minutes. The fastest it can happen is 20 days, 30 days or so.
True.
Normally, when you have a buyer, a qualified buyer, first of all, you have to get him qualified. It might take a week if there's no issues in between. And then we need to start looking for a house or property. We're talking about buyers specifically, we need to look for a house. Now, they can find a house in the first weekend, or they can take 3 months to find the perfect house. But let's assume that they find a house in the first month, and then we have another 30 days to close. So 60 days. So if you don't have money put away, who's going to pay the bills?
Oh boy.
No saying they can, I'm not saying I'm not being negative, I'm being realistic. If there's a ton of people who do it and they're very successful, what I'm saying is you have to be committed, because this is a job.
Yes.
And a lot of people, they have the idea that I want to work for myself, but that means I don't want to work.
Did you get that?
You have to take this as a job. I get up in the morning, 7 a.m., I exercise, 8:30 I'm having breakfast and I'm looking over my emails. 9 p.m. at 9 a.m. I'm leaving my house, I'm coming to the office, and then I start prospecting and calling the people that I'm supposed to call, and then I start working on the business. And then afternoons we try to go meet with clients. For example, today we have a meeting at 6 p.m. with a new client, but we try to organize our days that way. And during the week, if our buyers or sellers are ready to either list a property or go look for properties, we are always available. So we have to do it that way. But you have to be in the business, you have to work. If I'm sitting somewhere and I'm not doing anything, I need to be calling someone. I need to be researching
generation.
something. Exactly. It's not easy to be a boss. And especially it's not easy to be a boss of you. It's hard. So you have to be committed. You have to be organized, and you have to know that there's no one besides your husband or your wife that will tell you, hey, you're supposed to get up at 8. No slack. But there's no one else who's going to tell you what to do. It's you. And if you don't do it, well, there's no one else to blame. It's you.
You might not get paid.
Exactly. We are part of their journey to either buy a house or to sell a house, to buy another one, or whatever the the moment in life they are. But for us, we enjoy so much being part of the trip. It's so rewarding, and you don't think about monies. You just think about helping a family. And when they receive their keys, when they've signed the last document at the title company, we feel like we just bought the house with them.
There you go. That's the spirit.
It's so much joy. That I told you. I think we were talking, and I don't know if I mentioned that, but our it might sound a cliche, but we just want to help people, with real estate, with their investment in real estate, with whatever it is that they want to sell, they want to buy, whatever. But we don't concentrate on nothing else. We just want to service them, give them the best, opinions and be part of that, and not worry about the money. The money follows.
Yes.
If you do a good job, the money always follows.
And referral follows too.
Exactly.
Which is
our
what I
business
always dream of.
Our business is 99% referral.
Referral.
We always tell our buyers that we can look at 15 houses or more or less. You will feel that it's your home the moment you go in.
Yes.
I don't know why it works that way. I've seen so many times husband and wife or a couple or just one person walking in one place, not knowing what is, 5 yards beyond in the house. And they look at me or look at my wife and say, hey, you know what? This is it. This is the one. They don't know anything about the house, but
they feel it.
But they feel it.
They feel it.
And everything is about that.
Yes.
And then, great. I mean, we're happy when they have that feeling the first house they see.
Yeah. And that has happened to me a few times.
Instead of house number 50, but hey, you know what? It's part of the journey.
Yes.
It's part of the journey.
It's
Be
part
involved
of
in
it.
real estate.
Okay.
Why? Because these days, the life that we live now, with all these, social media, TVs, and the shows, and everything else, so everybody becomes an expert in real estate before becoming a real estate agent. Google. Love Google. If Google says something, it must be true. If you see someone talking on YouTube, and here we are talking, on a podcast, it must be true. Necessarily, not necessarily. So a lot of people get a taste of what it could be, but they don't really know what it is until they get involved, until you live it. Now, the moment you start living it, that's the moment when real love comes in. But I think that you have to, in anything in life, you have to get in for the right reasons. Okay? If you think that I'm gonna sell this because I'm gonna make a ton of money, that might not be the right reason. I'm going to become a football player because I want to be a millionaire. Kids don't get involved in football when they're 7 or 8 years old to become millionaires. They get involved in football because that's what they love to do, and very few make it. Very few make it to become, a professional players. There's thousands of kids that they don't become that. But that doesn't change the fact that there's what they dream to do. It's the same with anything in life, I think. For real estate, you have to get in for the right reasons. The good thing about working for yourself, is that you can set up your schedule any way you want it. The important thing is to do what you're supposed to do while you have this schedule set up. No, I don't like to. I have an office at home, and I come to work to the office at the broker almost every day, and a lot of people say, hey, why you come to the office here if you have an office at home? To me, if I stay home, I don't work. I mean, I'm going to have the TV on. I'm gonna be watching YouTube. I'm gonna be playing with my dogs. I'm gonna be, talking with my wife. All kinds of distractions, good distractions. But for me, when I leave the house, I come to the office, I'm going to work. If I stay home, I'm home. And for me, home is, I'm not working there. Most of the times, I relax. I'm not fully concentrated on what it needs to be done. When I come to the office, I'm working.
You're working.
I'm working.
Well,
it works for me. But a lot of people, my wife works at home, and it works for her. But you have to find what better suits you, and as long as you do it, you do what you're supposed to. But yeah, easy.
Oh, well, he says it's easy.
It's easy.
Okay,
Just
so
have a good attitude.
So, I still want you to give an advice to someone struggling out there. I don't know if I forgot to mention.
Realtor struggling?
Yeah,
Okay.
someone I forgot to mention right from the beginning, where were you originally from before you became a full-fledged American?
Okay. I was born in Lima, Peru, South America. I'm here since 1990, so over half of my life is I live in this country, in the States. So yeah, speak Spanish, speak English.
Okay, and I'm originally from Nigeria, and we moved here mainly when my husband wanted to come to school, and so we had to literally change of course, like literally just yanked everything off of Nigeria and came here to start all over again.
Mhm.
Was that like that for you? What brought you here?
I have a brother that lives in Houston that he wanted me to come to work with him in his company to help him out. And I was married. I had my oldest son. He was 3 years old back then. And I was supposed to go to U of H to do an MBA. And that was one of the reasons why I came. It started getting the English done. That way I could join school, working with my brother. And then working with family is usually not very good.
Really?
So yeah,
before.
good for you. And a year later, I started working with my brother and find a job and stay. And the things that I have my, the immigration part of it, it was not an issue back then. So yeah, man, I'm happy. At the beginning, I thought about going back to Lima because things didn't come up the way it was expected. But we already made a decision to come to the States, and we'll stick to it. One, especially if we deal with, and I notice this with a lot of our clientele. A lot of our clientele is Spanish speaking, Latin. A lot of them, I notice that they live in the country, they live here, but they're always thinking about going back or thinking about what's going on back home or whatever. And I am from Lima, Peru. I am first Peruvian than anything else. Yeah, I'm an American citizen, but nothing doesn't change the fact that I am from Lima, Peru. That's the way I feel. But I always separated the fact that where I come from, where I live. I'm not in between. And I notice that a lot of, I don't know if you notice that or not, a lot of people, especially buyers sometimes, you notice that when you talk to them, well, I don't know if I'm gonna stay here longer. I don't know if I'm gonna go back. And they delay decisions, for example, about real estate because they're not sure. Am I gonna stay? Am I gonna? And to us is you have to, within that, you have to make a decision. You're in here or you're there. But you can be in between because when you're in between, you don't succeed there and you don't succeed here. Home is home.
Yes.
Eventually, if we're lucky enough, we're always going to be able to go back home, and retire and, live happily. But while we're here, this is what we do. This is where we work and this is where we grow our business and we grow our families. And to me, real estate for them, to my buyers, is just an investment. It's home. But the moment you are decided to go back, then it becomes an investment and is an equity generator. You can have a rental income. I mean, you're not going to lose your property unless you stop paying for it. So why not? Why not? It's great investment.
What do you have to tell buyer, a seller, and a realtor out there? 3 people.
Buyer, like I said before, when it's time to buy, when you're ready, committed, and find yourself a good real estate professional to guide you through it. Believe me, there are a lot of them out there. Okay, if you're a seller, same thing. Why are you selling? Are you selling to move up into a new property, a different property? Are you moving out of the country? Are you ready to retire? Regardless of the case, there's always a way to get your profits out. Okay, so I don't see a problem selling or buying at this time. Now, when you're ready, let's just go. Call Tammy. She'll take care of you.
Call him too.
And if she doesn't answer,
Pedro will answer.
and for the new agents, for the real estate agents, be patient. Keep going. I mean, this is not an easy walk in the park. Okay, it takes commitment. But if you have the commitment, believe me, it's very rewarding. Very rewarding. You just have to work. Hassle is the word. Say hi to everybody I know, and say hi to everybody you don't know, because at that point you gotta get to know it. We're not selling, we're not buying, we're not leasing. We're just it's a service industry. We're basically working and in contact with people, and that's the biggest thing. My job is to talk, and I don't like talking. But hey, that's my job. I enjoy it. I do like to talk, but it's just say hi to everybody, get people to know you, and you get to know people. And believe me, opportunities come up. And I always go back to the law of numbers. If you say hi to 10 people, 20% might say 2 people might stick with you, and out of the 2, 1 might become a client, or 1 might give you a referral. But if you don't talk to anybody, what is it that you are? A secret agent? That's what they call it?
I know.
Exactly. Don't be a secret agent. You have to let everybody know that you are in real estate. And believe me, it will be very nice and good and rewarding in every possible way. Yep. Amen.
Amen. So, where do you see us in the next 5 years? For someone
Rich and
wondering-
retire, living in heaven.
Where do you see the market for someone wondering in the next 5 years? Where do you think we'll be?
We'll be back. We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Listen, without talking about politics or anything like that, people say, "Oh, this is the worst ever." 2025.
Yes. Well, let me use the common term. This is a bigger bubble than 2008 bubble.
No.
What would you say to that?
No. The market is great. The real estate market is great. The stock market is great. Everybody was saying, "Oh, the market is going to crash." It hasn't crashed. Keeps going up. Economy is okay. We'll be fine. I'm a firm believer that that we all have to work. We all have to keep a good attitude and just keep pushing. We'll be okay.
So what if the numbers are saying otherwise?
Like I said, no matter what the numbers say, no matter what we read, at the end of the day, Tammy, we have to get up, and do our job. Contact people, help in the best way we can, and believe me, everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
So my last question to you, who is your mentor and who do you mentor? You looked up, who, where?
God.
God is your mentor.
And my wife.
And
If I don't mention my wife, it's
Bravo.
killed.
And do you have people you mentor? And can people reach out to you if they need a mentor?
I have through United. I'm a coach and a mentor to United.
Okay.
So I'm helping a few new agents start their careers, and we're excited about that. And they're excited, which is good. But yeah, I mean, I'm always there for anybody who wants me to help them out or give them my opinion. But like I told you earlier, I'm not going to give them the rah-rah of the business. Everything is great. You're gonna have great, open houses and happy hours, and title companies are gonna buy you lunch. That doesn't make you money. That's not what we're here for. We're here to help our clients, and I love doing that. We'll be fine.
Well, what I hear him saying kind of relates with what I do, and which is we're here to make sacrifices. We're here to serve you.
Mm-hmm.
We're here to work, and we mean business. And we know that in the middle and at the end of our service to you or sacrifices, there's something waiting. That whatever that thing is, whether it's a big smile on your face, whether it's money in our account, it's always a pleasure to serve. And it's another referral to go serve, another referral to go serve. And that's how we've been going. So we look forward to hearing from you if you have more questions. And we're grateful for spending time with us. Until next time, happy house hunting.
Thank you. Bye.